What's up, man? I want to talk about this Golovkin Triple G fight. Part two, the second fight. But first, I want to go back to the first fight because I know everyone had their opinion on who won that fight. I have a very strong opinion that you know Golovkin won the fight. Now, it was a competitive fight, but I strongly thought Golovkin won the fight 8-4, 8 rounds to 4. And my take on it is this. I'm gonna go round by round on who I gave the rounds to. Now, I gave Canelo, I gave Golovkin the first round. I gave Canelo rounds 2, 3, and 4, and I gave Canelo the 11th round. I gave Golovkin the 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I gave him the round 1. I gave him round 5. I gave Golovkin round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9, round 11, and round 12. And the fight, to me, it wasn't hard to score. I know a lot of people say some of the rounds was hard to score. The rounds I seen Golovkin win, he won. The rounds I seen Canelo win, he won. And Canelo mostly won his rounds when he kept the fight in the center of the ring and he wasn't moving, backwards as much. Canelo started the fight off moving backwards right off the bat, And to me, the reason why he lost that first round, the main reason he lost that first round is he moved and started moving back and he wasn't throwing any punches. And Golovkin was making the fight. He was clearly coming forward, making the fight. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's Golovkin's style. Okay, well, if that's his style, then Canelo has to at least throw punches and land punches on the man to win the round. I thought they threw about the same amount of punches and landed about the same amount of punches, but I gave Triple G the round because he was coming forward and Canelo was moving backwards. So, if you want to nitpick that first round, because I don't believe in giving people even rounds. Somebody won the round. You got to see who won the round. And I gave that first round to Golovkin. Now, I thought Canelo did a better job of keeping the fight in the center of the ring over the next 3 rounds. I thought he did a much better job of keeping the fight center ring, and he won those rounds. And then here come the middle rounds. Well, it seemed like Canelo got tired around round 6. Like he was tired. Now, they both was tired. I seen Golovkin, he was taking some deep breaths too, breathing out his mouth. And I seen both of them was tired. But Canelo, the reason why you put the fatigue factor on Canelo is because he kept going to the ropes. And you go to the ropes, to get a breather so you can lean on the ropes and things of that nature, so you can help your legs relax a little bit. Trying to get a breather in between, while the fight is going on, other than sitting on your stool in between rounds. And I thought Canelo, that was a bad, terrible strategy by Canelo, going to those ropes, because every time he went to the ropes, it looked bad. He didn't fight well off the ropes either. Now, I'll see if he was like James Toney or Floyd Mayweather or Ali, fighting off the ropes effectively, moving. Yeah, he was moving. Canelo was moving, dodging some punches, but he wasn't throwing anything back. He wasn't trying to mount an offense back, and that looks bad. That looks bad to the judges when you're especially when you're in a fight of this magnitude, because a lot of times the judges are looking for, a guy to give the round to, even if it's a competitive round. Now they have to nitpick themselves and say, okay, who won this round? And if you've seen Canelo back up against the ropes, that's bad for him. That's not a good look for Canelo to be hit, for his back to be up against the ropes and Golovkin throwing punches at him. Even though Golovkin didn't land everything, it looked better for him. It didn't look good for Canelo. And another thing, if Canelo is going to move the way he's moving, he has to throw more punches and he has to land more punches than his opponent. At least you got to land more punches, because Golovkin, he did not come in on an angle. He didn't come in on no angles, right or left angle. He came straight down the middle on Canelo. It was more like Canelo was fighting a moving punching bag. Now, I'm not saying he landed everything on Golovkin. I'm just saying the way Golovkin was coming at him. Golovkin wasn't really cutting off the ring that many times. What happened was he was coming straight in the front door, and Canelo, instead of throwing punches, he was worried about moving out the way more than anything. So he was more conscious of, let me get out the way so I won't get hit back by a big punch. But he wasn't throwing any punches back. And that looked bad for Canelo as well. You already moving back. You already giving up a lot of ground. Now, the guy you giving up a lot of ground to, he's more busier than you by throwing more punches than you, and he outlanded you. And he out-jabbed you almost 2-1. The only thing Canelo did good in this fight that I like is Canelo went to the body. He was effective going to the body. He threw some nice body shots. I thought a couple body shots that Canelo landed on Triple G. Triple G was, he was bothered by him. Now, Triple G did not go to the body as well, and that's a knock that I have on Triple G. He did not go to the body well in this fight. And then another thing I got to knock on Triple G was, now they both was tired going down the stretch, but Golovkin had more energy than Canelo because he was still coming forward, almost chasing Canelo around the ring. And Canelo was noticeably tired. Golovkin, you have to cut off the ring on this man. Then you have to go to his body, because when a fighter is tired, and I've been in a lot of sparring matches, and I had a couple professional fights myself. When a fighter is tired, you have to go to his body, because you're trying to suck wind. And if you start going to that fighter's body, it's going to be hard for him to suck wind. You're going to slow him down even more. I thought if Golovkin would have went to the body more, he would have stopped Canelo from moving in round 9, 10, 11, and 12. Canelo probably wouldn't even have the energy to move the way he was moving. But I had the fight score 8-4. Now, it was a competitive fight. Now, when you say you have the fight 8-4, a lot of people are like, man, Golovkin wasn't that dominant in the fight. I'm not saying he was that dominant in the fight. What I'm saying is he won 8 rounds to 4 in a competitive fight. You can have a competitive fight and the rounds kind of lopsided. You can have a fight like that. I've seen plenty of fights where 2 guys did good in the round. You have to give it to somebody, and then you look up and you gave 4 rounds to one guy, and it's a competitive fight. And people are like, man, how you do that? Because that guy did more in a round than that guy. Because remember, we scoring this round by round. You know what I'm saying? So I have to say that Triple G won the fight 8-4. That judge that had it a draw, some of these judges, man, these judges need to sit down in front of some other officials. See, that's why boxing is so out there. Because for you to have that fight a draw, what are you looking at? Like, what fight are you looking at? And then another scorecard had the fight, 118 to 110 for Canelo. What the heck fights are these people looking at, man? I don't understand what fights are they looking at. And Canelo been in some iffy fights, man. I remember Canelo in the Mayweather fight. We all remember the famous draw that one of the judges that woman judge had of Canelo had a draw versus Floyd Mayweather. I'm looking like, no, that was not a draw, man. That fight it was no way that judge could have came up with a draw in that fight. It's no way. Canelo maybe won 2 rounds. Now, I know, my guy Rollo, he said he looked at the fight countless of times and he's seen some rounds to where you can say Canelo won. Now, I didn't see that many rounds where I can say Canelo won. I say Canelo won 2 rounds, if that. But Canelo been having some iffy scorecards, man. You know what I'm saying? He was up in the fight with him and Amir Khan, and I thought Amir Khan was fighting a really good fight until Amir Khan got knocked out. I thought Amir Khan was up on those scorecards, and he had that Laura fight. I picked Canelo to win that Laura fight, but I thought Laura clearly won the fight. It was just, now Laura was doing the same thing that Canelo was doing against Golovkin, but Laura was throwing more punches. Laura was throwing more punches and landing more cleaner punches on Canelo. Canelo was coming straight down the pipe. He was landing the punches. That's why I understand how Canelo. See, that's why I say Canelo. He was sort of running in that fight, in that Triple G fight, because if you a professional fighter, and Canelo is a pretty good precision puncher. For him not to land more clean shots on a man that's coming straight down the block on you, like straight in your face, and you not land no punches, is, to me, you were more about getting out of the way of his punches, more worried about you landing some of your punches. And Canelo lost the fight, man. De La Hoya know he lost that fight. Hopkins know he lost that fight. People, the guy that does the the scorecards of HBO, Harold, whatever his name is, he know he lost the fight. Come on, man. Roy Jones them know that man lost that fight, man. Everybody looking at the fight know he lost the fight, man. You cannot win the fight, even if that magnitude versus a champion, a respected champion like Golovkin, and come in there and move the way you moved and get outlanded and outthrown and outjabbed. How can you win the fight? Even if, I know a lot of people gonna say, well, you scored the rounds round by round, you know what I'm saying? A lot of punches can be thrown in different rounds. I understand that. But if you look at that fight, even without scoring the fight, if you look at the fight, you can clearly see that Golovkin won the fight. And I mean, it was like I said, it was a competitive fight. It was an entertaining fight. You know what I'm saying? But Golovkin won, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people are not, because of the reason why the fight is this late is because Canelo, he got caught, in my estimate, he got caught cheating. He knows, and a lot of the and mostly, if not all of the Mexican population know that, their meat is heavily, tainted. Their meat is heavily tainted with, steroids or whatever. And it is heavily tainted. And other fighters in the past had problems with showing up with their meat. And I know Morales said that before his Danny Garcia fight that he ate some tainted meat. That's the reason why he failed the drug test. And if you already know this, the amount of money that Canelo makes, he can get his meat imported from America. America is not that far from Mexico. You can get your meat imported just to save yourself from, a possible positive test. See, that's how I know it was intentional, man. Because you can always use an excuse that, well, our meat is tainted. Okay, well, if your meat is tainted, and you know that, it ain't like Canelo didn't know his meat was tainted. Possibility that the meat that he's eating in Mexico can be tainted. It's like a 90% chance that your meat can be tainted in Mexico. Why would you eat it? Yeah, you ate it before. You ate it so just in case you get caught, you can say, I'm going to get this competitive advantage. And then if I get caught, I can always, say, hey, it was tainted meat. So, like I said, I don't want to, dwell on that much. But in my opinion, the man was cheating. But I know a lot of people are down on this fight. But I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. I think this time around, Golovkin's going to go to the body more. And Canelo is not going to move as much as he moved in the first fight. I'd be surprised if he moves like he did in the first fight. This fight, I don't see this fight going. This fight is going to end the way I thought the first fight was going to end, with Golovkin knocking out Canelo. Because if Canelo, I'm not saying rock'em sock'em robots. I don't want to see them rock'em sock'em robots. I'm not saying Canelo has to do that. But if he's in range and if he fights the way I think he's going to fight, more like mid-range, which that's how Canelo was more effective. Canelo is a mid-range fighter. He's not a outside fighter. He's not I'm gonna stand on the outside and out jab you and catch you with right hands and stuff like that and throw lead left hooks and things of that nature, lead right hands. He's not that type of fighter. He's a mid-range fighter, and that's what Golovkin is. Golovkin is a mid-range fighter. That's why Canelo moved the way he moved, because him and Golovkin need to work in the same space. And if they work in the same space, I can see Golovkin knocking him out by around 7 or 8. Let me know what y'all think. Who y'all got winning the fight? Let me read some of these comments. Why is your name 76 TV? What is the connection? Well, 78 is a guy I used to talk to. We talked for years. Now, my first name, because I know a lot of people keep on asking me this. My first name was Boxing Talk 8576. Now, I wanted to move more towards talking about a variety of sports. I just don't. My first channel was all boxing. This channel is boxing, basketball, anything sports I want to talk about. I wanted to open my channel up to that because boxing is so full of it that I got sick and tired of just talking about boxing and talking about fights that should be happening. You know, we have to talk about fights happening that should be happening so much that I said, man, forget that. I'm gonna make me another channel, change my name, and Boxing Talk would not have worked for the platform I wanted to. My name Boxing Talk would not have worked for the platform I wanted to open it up to, because I wanted to open up to more sports. So I just sat around and with my wife, and I kept on asking her, like, what name should I use? And she was like, without me even thinking about it, she was like, you should use 76 Sports TV. And I said, you know what? I said, that sounds good. I said, I'm going to use it because I was born in 1976. So I was using 76. She was using 76 for my, my number. And then sports, because since I'm talking about sports, and then TV. So I said, cool, I'll do that. So not really thinking about it. I'm not even really thinking about 78 in his name. I was just thinking about what I wanted to do. And then, me and 78 had words back and forth, and he said that he thought I was biting off his name, and I tried to explain to him that I'm not biting off your name. It's just something I just came up with. My wife really came up with it, and I just said, okay, because it took me about a week to figure out what name I wanted to use, and I kept on coming up with these names, and none of them kind of popped. But that popped. For some reason, it popped, and I used it. So, he got, we had words, and, things were said, and, we fell out over that. But I said, I'm not going to change my name because it's not even close to 78. Yeah, I know 70. His is 78. Mine's is 76. But it's not like I just bit off his name and said, okay, I'm gonna use 76 because he got 78. No, I use 76 because that was the year I was born. And now if I was born another year, which I tried to explain to him, if I was born in 79, I would have used 79. If I was born in 80, I would have used 80. But that's how the dominoes fall. And I'm not gonna talk about it and dwell on it too much because it's just a name, man. And if you're gonna fall out over a name, then so be it. But like I said, I'm not here to talk bad about 78. And 78 is a good dude, man. He got a nice channel, real good channel. We had some great conversations in the past, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But and that's just what it is. But let me read some of y'all comments. 3 people watch Shut Me Out, bro. Shout me out, bro. Yeah, DW International. What's up, man? You always let me see. Let me read yours. Let me read your first one. Let me go up here. That is a real American thing. Let me see. Let me finish reading some of these comments, man. Let me see. Canelo nearly beat Foy is a joke. Yeah. Y'all let me know who y'all think gonna win the fight between Triple G and Canelo. Because like I said, I got Triple G by 7th to 8th round stoppage. Now I see Canelo has kind of slimmered down a little bit. What that tells me is I think Canelo wanna. Now, like I said, I don't think he's gonna move the way he moved like that. Very well, I thought he fought timid in the fight, man. Canelo is looking very powerful in training. He looks even bigger. Very capable of knocking out Triple G, but is Canelo going to take, the risk that is going to knock out Triple G? Because we all know he's used to putting himself in that knockout range. The Charlo brother at 154 is becoming more of a puncher himself. So, but I would like to see that fight between Triple G and the Charlo brother if he wins. Now, if Canelo prevail, I still want to see Canelo fight that Charlo brother. Whoever wins this fight, I want to see them fight Charlo brother. I think, tall, rangy, got a nice jab, nice fast, hands, nice combinations, and he just was just was with the wrong promotional company. They just didn't promote him right. He didn't get the fights that he should have got. Now he's with Eddie Hearn. Hopefully he'll get the fights that he wants. And Danny Jacobs is also with Eddie Hearn. He's at 160. So if Demetrius Andrade beat Billy Joe Saunders, we may get, Demetrius Andrade and Danny Jacobs. That's a great matchup. To me, that'd be a great matchup if he can get past Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders will be a puzzle for Demetrius Andrade, but I think Demetrius Andrade has the tools to get the job done. But Billy Joe Saunders is no walkover by any means. That man, he understands distance, he understands range, he understands how to move in that ring. So that's gonna be a real good fight, man. I'm looking at that fight for sure. I'm looking at that fight. I'll be looking at that fight. Let me read some more of y'all comments since I just pulled up to the house before I get out the car. Let me see. Okay, if you are, then you should join a group. Fighting Talk, Fighting Talk, we are you using to produce your video 76. DW International, I promise you, keep no bias, people. We will sub. That is why I joined. Is why most subscribe. Bro, you need to upgrade your videos seriously. Where are you based, DW? I did not say like to keep that private, bro. Too many fanboys on here start shitting. Canelo on points late. Okay. Where are you from, UK? No, I'm not from the UK. I'm from America. I bet Canelo to win. Triple G the favorite, which is odd. I've lost you. I'm based in the UK. Oh, okay. Oh, you asking him where he's based at? Need to start going to these local events. Do you watch Spence versus Brook? 78 Sports TV, holla, Salty 76. Haha. Yeah, but I'm gonna get on out of here because I just pulled up to the house. But yeah, I got Triple G winning, man. I'm gonna come back with another live. I want to talk about that Spence versus Garcia possible matchup and Keith Thurman possible, return to the sport. But I'm out, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Talk to y'all later.